Guys, what is going on in the Jay Slater case? What is Dan O Keefe up to? Just a couple weeks ago, he said that Jay Slater was tortured and his eyes were taken out. Now everybody was worried about this man. I remember watching the video and thinking that if this could be real, this man is in real danger. And then all of a sudden, he just disappeared. He stopped making videos online. Now in that couple weeks, I've been thinking about Dan and I've been thinking, is he okay or not? And looking at comments online, it's not just me that's been worried about him. This man reached the national headlines. He was on the front of the papers. The claims that he made surely reached Jay Slater's family. But guys, today I found out that he made another video and I couldn't wait to see what the update was regarding this situation. But guess what? He didn't even mention it. He didn't even talk about what happened 2 weeks ago. This latest video was so bad that I couldn't even watch all of it. I was expecting him to talk about it straight away, and a few minutes into the video, I just couldn't even watch it because I just couldn't believe the fact that he didn't mention what he talked about 2 weeks ago. You can't put a claim like that outside. You can't be telling the whole world that Jay Slater was tortured and his eyes were taken out, and then all of a sudden just disappear and come back 2 weeks later and not even mention what you talked about. Do you know how many people were waiting for an update, including me? Dan is really frustrating me. The way that he's reporting this Jay Slater case is absolutely driving me crazy, guys. Let's go back and look at what he said before.
We've seen a video that is so bad, we will not show it here for obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons meaning that it's too graphic to put up online. But you could have sent us a screenshot, something. He could have even put a picture up and blurred out the eyes. He could have blurred out certain parts of the picture so that you can still put it up online. But he wasn't willing to show us anything. Anyway, at this point, I gave him the benefit of the doubt because I just thought it's too graphic, so he can't put it up online. I just came to the assumption that if this thing is real, then he's not putting it up online, not just because it's too graphic, but also for his safety.
Number one, it has been verified that it's genuine.
Now, this is what really worries me about this man. He said that it's been verified to be genuine. Now, he said this 2 weeks ago. Now, if it really was verified to be genuine, then why haven't there been any arrests? Why hasn't there been anything further on the news? Dan, when you say something is verified, you're making a big claim. In fact, this news was so big that this is the most popular video on Dan's channel.
The video shows Jay Slater was tortured so bad that he had blisters all over his right arm.
Dan, how can we believe anything that you're telling us? You could have at least taken a picture of at least his arm. And a blistered arm would not be considered too graphic to put up on a video.
Plus, he was tortured so much that he lost his sight.
Again, if he lost his sight, you could have taken a screenshot of this video and you could have blurred out the eye section of his face. You see, the problem is, Dan, you've made all these claims, but you haven't shown any evidence to back them up. Now, I'm not trying to have a go at Dan. All I'm trying to say is that there was 2 weeks where people were waiting for an update. And when he made this video today, and he didn't even mention this situation, he didn't even reply to people's comments when they asked him, Dan, are there any updates regarding this video? Now that's really worrying, guys.
And has no eyes. He's on the video screaming and shouting to be left out.
He has no eyes and he's screaming and shouting to be left out. To think about that is so horrific. What he's talking about is unbelievable. People were so worried about what happened to Jay Slater. I'm sure there's many people's hearts that sank when they heard what really happened to Jay Slater. When this man is talking about it's been verified and this and that, there's a lot of people that must have believed him. Even myself, I wasn't too sure. I did have my doubts, but I wasn't sure. I said, unless I see the video, I can't verify if it's real or not.
Arub is linked to all of this as he brought him there in the first place. But he did not torture Jay Slater. The person who did is known to both Aruba and the Spanish police.
Now, Dan, how do you know that the person that tortured Jay Slater is known to Ayub and the Spanish police? I mean, how do you know that? You're not giving us any receipts whatsoever. I mean, surely you can't tell that just by looking at a video of somebody being tortured. So how do you know who tortured him? I mean, we all know that Ayub Kasim and Rocky are suspicious. So obviously we're going to believe what you're saying. But the problem is you're not backing up anything that you say.
And guess what, folks? Neither did nothing to stop this happening.
Neither did anything to stop this happening. Now, Dan, are you telling the truth here, or are you just trying to dramatize what you're talking about? Honestly, I'm not having a go at this Dan guy. I'm just a bit worried about the stuff that he comes out with. If anything, guys, I'm just frustrated about the fact that I waited 2 weeks to hear nothing.
We really knew this case was shocking from day one, but this has taken it to a whole new level.
Well, Dan the man, it really has taken it to another level. You've had so many people worrying about what really happened to Jay Slater, and now you just don't even talk about it. You act as if you didn't even say it. This is completely ridiculous, mate. You must give an update. There must be so many people waiting to hear what really happened to Jay Slater. If you're saying that this video has been verified, then prove that to the public. If you want the public support, then verify what you're talking about. The way I see it, if Dan's made a mistake here and he realizes that this is not really Jay Slater, then he should just put his hands up. At least tell people, guys, I made a mistake, and then just move on. But by not even mentioning it, by not even talking about it, that's completely ridiculous.
You wouldn't do that to any human being. You wouldn't even do it to an animal. Words cannot come to mind of how bad it is.
Guys, there were so many people just worried about how bad this really was. Now, so many people just didn't want to say anything about it until they've seen the video and verified if it's true or not. You see, the problem is Dan seems to make a lot of claims, but he never seems to back anything up. Now, I'm still waiting for an update regarding this video. The thing is, I feel like I'm going to be waiting forever because it seems like Dan's already forgotten about it.
That is how bad this situation is.
That is how bad the situation is. Yeah, it really is bad because you've got thousands of people waiting for an update and you're not willing to give it to them. You're acting like you've completely forgotten about what you've been talking about.
So now, guys, with all that in mind, what are your thoughts on all of that? Do leave us a comment.
Guys, what are your thoughts on all of that? Let me know in the comment section below. I really want to know what you guys think about what Dan's been telling us.